Hello students. Uh, you know that this is we are discussing about employment communication volume 2. Okay, in the volume 1 we have discussed about what you mean by the resume, what you mean by the CV, and what you mean by the biodata, and how important this is for your career objectives. So these all things we have discussed in the volume 1, and today we are going to discuss about volume 2, that is types of resume. So you know that in the resume also there are various types will be there, as we have seen. We can see in the presentation that the mini resume, chronological resume, functional resume, and as we have said there's a CV, there's a curricular vita. Okay, so here in the mini resume we are writing about only specific part, okay, whatever about yourself, that is what you can the mini resume. So in this mini resume contains very brief summary of career and the qualifications, and it is used for the networking purpose, and full length of information shall be provided when it's demanded. So here in the resume, mini resume, normally you can see that, for example, maybe for the low post we are not writing all the information, okay, because for the low post you are not a highly qualified. So for the according to the post you are qualified. So for the low post you are qualified less. So in this if you have a very less qualification, then you are unable to write all information in this mini resume. So mini resume is only brief, that means little information about yourself and what you have a qualification and what is your experience. So those things we are writing in the mini resume, and please keep it in mind, mini resume is for only for the low post job. Okay, then second point we are talking about chronological resume. So in this type of the resume, the records in the chronological order, and the current position is written first and the followed by the rest is descending order. The job seekers with a strong work background adopts this type of the resume. So as I have said, so in the previous presentation also I have discussed that this chronological resume, that means you need to write in a very sequence manner. That means the first will be your career objectives, and in the second point it is maybe your educational background. So in the educational background also you need to write your recent degree first, then you can write the previous degree and rest of the descending orders. Okay, for example, you have done the PG, that means post graduation. First you need to write the post graduation, then you can write the undergraduation, then you can write the PUC, or then you can write the SSLC or 10th. So this is how you need to write the resume. And apart from this also we need to make the columns, okay, that is for maybe the course or maybe the year and the university and the percentage. This is how you need to use the clear information. So the employer should not get confused, and employer should not raise the question what is your percentage and which university you have done your qualification. So each and every information you need to give it in the resume in a chronological manner, that means sequence manner we are talking. Okay, then next point comes, there's a functional resume. So this focuses on skills and experience but not giving the history in chronological order. This is useful for those who are changing their career path. So in the functional resume we are giving our skills and the information, okay, but not in a chronological manner or not in depth. Okay, so because what happens, they are changing the career path. So if you are changing the career path, what I mean by this changing the career path, please make it important, this particular word, that's a career path in the third point, that is career path. For example, maybe you have started your career with your marketing, okay, then if you fed up of marketing, roaming outside of target, these all things, then definitely you will change your career path, maybe diverting your career with marketing to the back end job, maybe you can say finance or maybe you can say HR. So here you should not give the in-depth information about your experience, because what happens, that your experience will tell about your jobs, that means what you have done the job and what you have the knowledge. For example, maybe you have achieved a lot of things in the marketing, and if you give all the information in the resume, then you are applying for the HR or the finance. You don't have the HR and finance related information or maybe the knowledge, but you have an in-depth knowledge about the marketing. What is the help of that particular post? So that's the reason in the functional resume we are giving just a small information about your career, and you need to concentrate on your career path where you are going to divert yourself, maybe from the marketing to HR or marketing to finance. So that information you need to give more, and you need to give the less information about your experience, because you are changing your career path. Guys, understand? So next point, that is a curriculum vitae. So as I have said in the previous presentation also, that is a curriculum vitae. We used to say the CV, it means the course of the life. It is written account of one's education, accomplishment, work experience, publications, okay, or maybe achievements, okay, responsibilities, more experience. According to the web curriculum vitae, should be more than the 2 pages. That's what I have said. Resume is less than 2 pages and curriculum vitae is more than 2 pages. So more than 2 pages is not increasing. By increasing your font or by increasing your line spacing, you can go more than 2 pages. No, there is a proper format is there. While writing any letters or any resume, that is a heading. Main heading should be around 16 font, and subheading should be around 14 font, and your content should be in a 12 font. Okay, and the line spacing should be minimum single, or maybe if your information is more, then you can increase by 1.5. That's it. Okay, so you should not increase more line spacing, and this is a proper format user. And don't use various designery font styles. Okay, almost you need to use the font that is maybe you can say New Romans or Arial Black or Calibri. So this is a decent font styles will be there, so that you need to use whenever you are writing the resume or maybe the curriculum vitae. Okay, so curriculum vitae, it should be a more than 2 pages, and you need to give the more information about yourself, your experience, your teaching, maybe your project experience, okay, your achievements. These all things you need to write. Right, then we'll move for the next slide. That is a letter of applications. You know that there are ways of writing the application letters is there. And these are the letters in which the applicant is going to furnish his personal and the curriculum details. It must be enclosed by CV. So whenever you are writing the letter, you need to attach your CV or the resumes. Okay, and in the letters we have discussed in the earlier presentation, that is, you need to give the brief information about yourself in that letter. In depth, if I wanted, then I need to check out your resume or the CV. So that's the reason we used to enclose the CV. Then the followings are to be noted while drafting the letters of the applicant. Candidates should write an application with due care, precise and courtesy. Okay, whenever we are writing the application or maybe whenever you are writing the resume, you should be take care of yourself. You should not use the wrong words, and you should not do the mistakes in your letters or the resumes. And it should be precise. It should not be a very lengthy, and it should be a precise, and there should be some courtesy. You should not use the hard words here. Okay, and you should be referred to the advertisement or maybe the interest of the particular job, and it should be enclosed with the letters or is free for the grammatical mistakes and the spelling errors. So this is very much important. That's what I have said. When you are writing the letters, you should take care of yourself. You should not do any mistakes, maybe spelling errors you can say, or grammatical mistakes you can say. Try to avoid these things. Okay, so let's see about the letter of applications. Okay, what are the types of letter of applications? So first one we can say that the application is a single letter form. Okay, so here all the matters to be furnished along with the subject, reference, personal details are written in a single letter. That means single page. Okay, so application letter should be in a 1 page. If it goes more than 1 page, it is nothing but a resume or the CV. So that's the reason in a single letter, what is the format? First you need to write your name, your address, from, to and subject. Subject is for what? there's a applying for the post of marketing, applying for the post of HR. So this is how we can write in the subject. And reference, who had given the reference to you, and if I wanted to know about yourself, whom I need to communicate, that reference you need to give. And about your personal details, what all the brief, okay, small introduction about yourself, and you should be duly signed with that letter, and that should be in a single letter. That's the reason we are saying that the application is a single letter form. Then second point, we are talking about application letter is a separate biodata. So in this form, a covering letter mentions subject and reference is written, and a separate sheet containing personal biodata is enclosed to it. For example, I have said biodata is about yourself, biography, and this is for, we are talking about nowadays, we are talking about biodata is nothing but for the proposal purpose. So proposal purpose, you need to write what kind of quality or what kind of characteristics you are looking for in your spouse, okay, that you need to write in your application letter, okay, that is in the biodata, if you are applying for the biodata, or if you are attaching for the biodata. Then third point, we are saying that the application in the prescribed typed and the printed format. Yes, see, normally we have seen many times, okay, that is maybe less educated people, okay, they used to write the resume by pen and the paper. Guys, that is the old matter, okay, that is the traditional matter, we can say, the traditional format, we can say. So that's the old format. So new format is whenever you are writing a letter or whenever you are writing a resume or applying for the job, okay, almost you need to type it in a computer and it should be printed, where correction monitoring by required information is highly expected. So here, the whatever the things you are doing the wrongly, that should be monitored very importantly, highly expected, okay. So this is all about the types of letters or letter of applications, we can say. Then next point we are talking about, that is a covering letter. So as I have said, there's a covering letter is very much important, not only your resume, not only your CV. So covering letter is also important, okay. So what is that covering letter? If a candidate wishes to provide his details in a separate biodata, okay, of CV, it should be accomplished by the covering letter. It should be one own natural style, that is concise, simple language, and it should be a distinctiveness and claims to fit for the job. It should not be a more than one page, as we have said in the earlier slide, that is, it should not be a more than one page, and it should be a very simple format, and try to claim about yourself what you are fit for that particular job. Then every word and the sentence should be given carefully attention and must be accurate, and it should be perfect it in itself with the impress to the prospective employer, or maybe proper approach in beginning and the appropriate ending give the picture about the candidate. So here, once we read that letter, we should understand what kind of candidate he is or she is, okay. So whether that person is suitable for my post or that person is suitable for my company. So end of the letter, the employer should be able to understand that. That is how we need to write the covering letter, okay. Then so here, before going for the tips of writing the application letter, I'll tell you guys. So in the PDF notes I have sent you guys, so please go through that. What is the format? I have given some format of curriculum vitae, as well as I have given the format of resume, because biodata I am not given, because that is not for the academic and that is not for the professional. So biodata is for the personal. So I'm not interacting, or maybe I'm not interrupting for the personal information. So I'm just going for the only the professional information, that is professional education, that is curriculum vitae and the resume. So in the PDF I have whatever I have sent the notes. So please go through that notes. In that notes I have given some format of curriculum vitae with the full details. Where should be a contact number should be mentioned, and the mail ID, and about your name, and about your career objectives, and the strength and the weakness, and what all you have achieved, and what is your education qualification, and maybe you have a computer skills, or maybe executive summary. So executive summary, that is about your in-depth information about your career. So where you did the job, first company, again in the career executive summary. So you need to write your recent job information first, then you can follow the whatever you have done the jobs in the previous companies. So those things you need to write in a chronological manner. So in that also, first you need to write your company name first, where you have worked. I'm talking about the CV, guys, don't get confused. ಸಿ ವಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೆಂಗದ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಕೆರಿಯರ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್, ಓಕೆ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಮೇನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಸಮರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಸಮರಿ ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ನೇಮ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ, ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಮೇನ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜಾಬ್ ರೋಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಸೈನ್ ಜಾಬಿಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್, ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ಲಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್, ಯಾವ ಇಯರ್ಲಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಇಯರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ how many tenure, okay, what is the time period you have worked in that particular company. That is maybe 1 year, 2 months, or 2 year, 3 months, and maybe 3 months. So this is how from and to. That means when you joined, when you left the job, that information you need to give, and apart from that, what all you have achieved in that particular company. So this is how the format is there in the CV. And once you read the first company, that's a recent company, then you can go for the previous company. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಸೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್. ಅಗೇನ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ನೇಮ್, ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್, and your work description, or maybe the roles and the responsibilities that you need to write, followed by the different companies, right? Then you can write your career again, academic experience, or maybe you have done the project works, or maybe you have achieved something, or maybe your personal details and your references. This is how you need to write in the CV. I have given the PDF notes, please go through that. Similarly, I have given the information about the resume also, that also you can go through that. Because in this presentation I am unable to show you that, because there is a 3-4 pages are there. So if I add 3-4 pages in this presentation, again the presentation will be a bigger. So probably you will feel bored to see the bigger presentation. So that's the reason I have reduced that formats. Okay, so formats, please go and check it out in your presentation. Your what I can say, PDF notes. Okay, so here I'll stop this presentation. In the next presentation, we'll look out for the tips on writing an application letter. So what all the tips is required for the writing the application letter, you can look out in the next presentation. Right, guys? So thank you. Hope you are understanding. And if you have any queries, or maybe if you want any changes in the explanation, please let me know. Thank you.